That was crazy. An ex-girlfriend of mine, her mom had that rule.
Really? No R&B?
No slow jams.
That meant you were fucking? That's
no
awesome.
slow jams in the house.
That fucking rules. My mom, when me and my wife first started dating, my mom made us crack the door, and I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna fucking shut the door. I'm trying to
come on, Mom.
Come on."
Did you? Now I'm assuming when did you start dating? How old were you?
It was 2012. So I was 18. She was 17.
Oh.
I was robbing the cradle.
Damn. Well, you could say she was robbing the grave.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's going backwards on that.
For sure.
So you still living at home, and your mom was like, "Hey, no funny business upstairs."
No funny business. And I was like, and my dad was like, "Come on, let him fucking.
Come on, let my
boy get laid."
Chick.
I just figured out he's not gay. This is rules.
Dude, I just ended up breaking my wrist high-fiving all my buddies.
Yeah, of course.
Come on. Just
it was a big day at the steel mill for my dad when I got
he was just like, so my son.
Son's getting Asian pussy.
I'm just letting you know we're gonna have to crack the door if you know what I'm saying up there.
Gather around, fellas.
So
he's
my
hitting
son's
Filipino.
crushing some southeastern Asian pussy up there.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we are.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay, cool. I was like, oh shit, are we wasting this?
No,
this is
dude,
good stuff.
We're talking.
All right, hell yeah.
We're talking about you.
Fuck yeah.
Blasting your girlfriends. I mean, there's only been 2 times there's been chicks at my house when I was like, I guess in high school. And my mom was more like, what are they? Not that she thought I was gay or anything, but like, if she saw a chick there, like, what is this about?
Yeah.
She's more like, what are they planning to do? Not what are they going to do? What are they planning? There's got to be something going on here. This is not. Because I would be like, yo, I don't want to get interrupted doing anything. We're going to the woods or behind Acme or something like that. We're going somewhere where no one will bother us.
I think my parents knew right from the beginning that I was a horny little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you always wearing Bermuda shorts all the time?
No, yeah.
As a kid? A scream horny little guy.
Yeah, this screams I need to do my laundry is what it screams.
I think my mom knew that I was like my mom, she found porn once when I was like in elementary school. So like the idea of me being like, yo, chicks, I don't think was ever far from her brain, but she never was like.
Porn in elementary school?
Yeah.
Damn. What kind of porn was that?
It was a fucking softcore lesbian porn.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it was,
like,
when I say found porn, so this is what happened. Much like, so you were 18 in 2012. 2012. You were 18 in 2012. So
if I was 18 in 2020, I'd be old as fuck.
Yeah, dude. Shit. So you were 18 in 2012. So in the 90s, I guess did you ever have to find woods porno? Like
no.
Porno in the woods? You didn't have that?
So when I was like a little kid, my grandma had like Boscov's magazines.
Oh,
and I would go through and I would like look at like the lingerie.
The unmentionables?
Uh-huh. But I didn't know how to crank it yet. So I would just sit there and be like, this is awesome. Like I thought that's all it was. You just like feel really cool.
You just feel
looking
cool
at it.
looking at the underwear.
And then once I learned how to touch it, it was game over. But I had like a cable box in my room, like the on demand and all that shit. And my mom, I remember when she got it for me on my 13th birthday, she was like, I know there's a lot of dirty things on here, but me and your dad, we trust you that you're not gonna. And like I felt so like, okay, my parents trust me. I'm not gonna. And that lasted for
Time to definitely disavow their trust.
It lasted for like maybe a month, and then I was like, I'm watching Cat House.
Yeah, HBO when I was like growing up, HBO had like. It was just movies. There was no like original series or contents and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until like the late 90s when like Real Sex and Taxi Cab Confessions came on. And like, what is the best banger though? For my money was I don't know if you remember G-String Divas.
I don't. I remember Sex Ed. I remember Taxi Cab Confessions. I remember Cat House was my shit.
Cat House was very good too. I thought Cat House was crazy because G-String Divas was. They were really trying to make that like a dramatic reality show of the slings and arrows of what it's like to be a stripper. As where Cat House was like, look at this building in the middle of fucking Vegas that you can just fuck chicks in.
I think it's hilarious too. Like there would just be like guys they would film the guys come in and be like, I want to fuck that one. And just like like, I guess they must have, obviously they signed a release form or whatever. I wonder if they got like a discount or anything.
If they agreed to be on camera? Yeah, definitely.
Because that's got to be, I mean, that's, fucking out there forever.
I think when you do that, I think a guy who goes all the way to the Cat House kind of knows that people are going to like see, like there's no way they don't know that you're going there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you can drive by the cat house like, oh, there's Rob's car in the parking lot.
Oh, by the way, if my wife ever leaves me, that's fucking the first thing I'm doing.
You're going to the cat house?
Yeah, dude.
Really? Mm-hmm. Where all the chicks have aged progressively.
Well, I think they got to have a new batch. There's no way, right?
I don't
think
know
it's
if
the
they're
same
like
ones.
Where they pour water on the old ones and the new batch of them come out like gremlins.
That would be kind of nostalgic though if I showed up and I got to fuck the ones I watched when I was a kid.
You got to bang Air Force Amy.
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where Air Force Amy said the N-word?
No.
Oh my god! What a crushing
That's awesome.
blow!
I was watching it on mute for the most part.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't wake my parents
even
up.
if you had it on mute, you could see her lips. You know what she
watch
said.
Everybody freak out.
She said it full syllable. Yeah, she was mad because she was trying to be top cat house girl.
Okay.
Like, as they all are. Mm-hmm. You know, they're trying to get tattooed on what's his fucking face's arm again.
Yeah.
So she was trying to be like the top cat house girl, and this new, whore shows up, and she's fucking one, gorgeous, two, very like Air Force Amy was always like energetic and like, trying to get everyone involved in dumb cat house games and shit.
Right.
This one shows up and she's got all the new tricks.
Oh,
she's
damn.
way more youthful, way more fun, knows cool slang. Air Force Amy's like, I can't.
I have to say the N-word.
Yeah, she's like,
I simply must say the
I only
N-word.
have one ace in the hole here. I can't do anything else.
Yeah, then you got to save that one. You can't just fucking
Well, she was getting kicked out of the cat.
Oh, okay.
That was what
I thought she showed up and she just dropped it immediately.
She opened the door and slammed it. Mm-hmm. No, she was apparently they got into like a small argument. And then like other cat house girls were like, hey, come on, we're all on the same whore team. Let's not fight. And then Air Force Amy was like, no, I'm basically kind of saying like I'm in control.
Right.
Like this place doesn't run without me. When really that's the craziest thing to think.
Oh yeah.
As a prostitute.
Yeah, I think
there are 20 other women here.
Right. Yeah. That's how they do it. They had the lineup.
Yeah.
And then the dude come in just fucking you.
I mean, it has to be one thing I am kind of curious about is they always show the guy like picking, but they do the montage where it's like a guy comes in and picks one, and then it's another guy picking another one or picking two, and it's like, but they never show the one that never gets picked. There are like in all those montages, there are like a few that like in the montage never get picked. I wonder.
I would feel bad.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be like, you can watch if you want.
I think I honestly, if I was single and I was like in my 20s and I went to the cat house, I don't think I'd pick like the hottest one. I'd be like, where's the one who's not getting all the one? I'd be like, who's the one who's not getting?
I want you to tell me about your life.
I would, honestly, in my head, it's like I want you to have to like feel like you have to earn your keep. I want you to like just while the fuck out in the bedroom, do whatever you want. And I'll be like, yeah, that's why you're the best. That's why you're still around.
You know what I think one of the saddest things you can do at a cat house? They have like a menu. I know, well, I watch the show obviously.
I was gonna say,
not like I've been there.
Were you on DoorDash? Hordash?
Yeah, Hordash. That's great.
Were you just like, I guess I can get that. I'd spring for that.
Well, they have like a menu, but they have like options you can do of like what you want to do with the girls. And like, it goes anywhere from like, you want to just have sex. But there was one where it was like called like the girlfriend experience. And it was just like they'll like cuddle with you and like pretend to be your girlfriend, like ask you about your day. Like you make up a whole backstory about like how you guys have been like dating or whatever. That's got to be like the fucking saddest thing.
I don't know. Because you know what's really sad about that is even if a guy's never had a girlfriend and he goes to get the girlfriend experience, he's not getting the girlfriend experience.
Right.
He's getting what they think he wants as the girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
They're not getting 100 questions about whether or not clothes fit right.
Right.
They're not getting 100 questions.
What do you mean you're a comedian?
Yeah, I was like, what?
How
what
are we
going to
pay the bills?
Yeah, it was more like, wait, did you forget to pay the gas bill? That would be crazy if that was the first question they asked.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the lights aren't working. Did you remember to pay the utility? Fuck.
Oh my God, the Pico bill is your one responsibility. I'm like, oh, I'm close. Keep going.
Right before she sucks, you're just like, my parents are coming tomorrow, right?
Oh,
damn it. Damn it.
I'm coming too.
Oh, that's what really puts him over the edge.
Yeah.
It's just slight disappointment. He's like, finally, I actually have the entire experience.
Hell yeah.
God damn it. This is the End Podcast with Ryan Shaner. I'm joined by the one and only Rob Stant. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you want to plug for the people listening? Anything you got going on?
I have Rob Stant and Friends in July at Next in Line. Tickets are on my Linktree Rob Stant comedy. Come out. It's this July. That's July, I think 20 something. That's gonna be fun. Come check that out. And then I have a bunch of other shows. I'm going on the road and stuff. If you want to check my Linktree and see if I'm coming to a city near you, come check.
Hell yeah.
Come check me out.
How's Linktree work? Is that good for? Everything?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's easier than a website in my opinion. It's just you click on it and it's like here's the shows. Like with a website, you open it up and it's like Rob Stant was a comedian. Blah blah blah. Nobody.
The bios.
Yeah, nobody gives a
crazy.
shit. Just they want to see your shows.
Yeah, that's actually I get that. I get that. Do you put a spicy link in your?
No,
you
dude.
should, though.
No, I should. Well, here's the thing, though. I do have somebody currently who's paying for pictures of my feet. I got a foot plug. It's just one guy.
No
Yeah,
way.
swear to God, dude. Swear to God.
How much? Nah, don't tell me how much.
No, $200
Per foot?
No, not per foot. Damn, dude, I wish.
Dude,
yeah,
I was
per
gonna
toe.
say that's fucking wild.
$200 per toe. No, like he'll like DM me like once a month and be like, hey, like I just sent you $200 on Venmo, and then he'll tell me what he wants.
Oh, he's got the menu.
He's got the menu. He wants the boyfriend experience.
He's like, check it out.
Yeah.
Do you prep your toes? Like, do you make them look? Does he? He just wants your.
He just
feet?
wants them. Yeah, I think it's like I don't know. Like maybe it's like because what he probably doesn't know this, but I checked his Venmo history.
Yeah.
Like because he has it public, and I was seeing. He was like sending money to like other comedians.
Oh.
Nobody I know personally, but like I was like, oh, maybe this guy just has like a thing where he's like collecting comedian feet like Pokemon.
Whoa.
You know?
That's now. I don't know if that's concerning, but it is that's more weird than just some guy like I like feet.
Yeah.
Going after specific comedian feet is very odd.
Yeah, and I like the whole thing. It's just. It's weird, but I'm like $200 is $200.
I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
also your feet.
Yeah, it's not like I'm showing my dick.
Yeah, you don't have to like. And you're actually living the dream that most women say they want to live.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was kidding at first, and then he sent the money, and then my next thing was
you got no choice.
And I was like, well, shit, and then and it was like right after one of my I think it was like during football season, so like one of my parlays fucking bombed, and I was like, all right, well, if I get this $200. That'll make up for that. But then I had to ask him, I was like, yo, I need to see your ID so I know you're not like literally a child or like one of my friends fucking with me.
Yeah, all right.
And then, he sent me his ID so I know he's an adult.
But even if it was, let's put it this way, even if it was your buddy fucking with you, your buddy's still,
$200.
yeah, your buddy's
you're the
loser.
You're
the fucking idiot,
Yeah, you're
dude.
the dumbass.
You're trying to prank me.
Oh, dude, such a good prank. I paid the Pico bill this month because of you.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah.
So you just send him pictures of your regular ass feet.
Yeah, he wants the bottom of them. So I gotta I gotta prop them up and like set the camera up. It's very like the whole time the first time I was doing it, I was like, man, what a life I live.
Yeah.
Like what I'm willing to do to never sit behind a desk again.
It's kind of wild. Now, after you took, did you have any, besides that reflection, did you have any feeling of regret? Like, is this what I'm doing now?
I had my wife's approval, and that's all that matters.
Okay.
Because I asked her, I was like...
The blessing is...
Yeah, I was like, hey,
good.
this guy wants pictures of my feet. Is that fine? She was like, is he paying you? I was like, of course. And she was like, yeah, I don't care.
Feet, I guess the soles doesn't make sense, which is creepier when you think, because he wants to fuck the soles.
Yeah. He's definitely cranking it to him. There's no way.
Without a doubt. But I just don't... Look,
kind of flattered in a way.
Do you have good feet?
No, not at all.
No?
I ran cross country for a long time in high school.
Weathered feet.
I went to a foot doctor once, and he was like, "Yeah, you have runner's toes, and that can't be a good thing."
What the fuck is that?
It's like where your toes, like I had like one of my toes digging into the other. Oh. And like he was like, I had to get like a specific shoe so it would stop doing it because like the shoes I was wearing, I didn't know that like. When you have running shoes, they kind of expire after a while, I think, and you have to get like new ones.
What?
Because I don't know if they like actually expire, but they obviously
you wear
the
them
support,
out.
yeah, the support, kind of.
You said expire. I'm like, I gotta check dates on shoes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
They're on the bottom.
Yeah, are they in the back? Do I have to go up and be like, I know you have the good shoes in the back. I know you have freshest shoes.
You're rearranging the shelves. You're grabbing the ones from the back, like you do with milk.
I'm just trying to get the best date. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's fucked up, but I'm getting my money's worth. So you had runner's feet.
Yeah, I don't know what the official word for it was, but he was saying like. Because like I had like it was bad. It wasn't like I had a toenail. He had to like get like pliers and like fucking fix my toenail. It was pretty
your toenail
brutal.
was digging
into my other one.
Man.
It was really bad.
That's wild. And that was all just from cross country?
Well, I did cross country, and then I kept like doing it. Like I was like I kept doing like 5Ks, and like I was in really good shape like out of high school into college before I started boozing really hard.
Yeah.
And then like now I still run now, but I'm not as fast.
You're not giving yourself toes.
Exactly.
You're not giving yourself the toes.
Yeah, and now I can't break my money makers, so I got to be careful.
But do you think if you told him that you had runner's toes, do you think that would up the price or take it down?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have to renegotiate. I'm like, these are runner's toes, right? It's going to be $250 from here on out.
I knew a dude who, and this was like one of the, like when your boy tells you something in confidence.
Yeah.
Who he thinks, he knows it's like a little off, but he thinks you'll be like, oh yeah, I get how that can be hot. And it's not hot at all.
You're like, what? What'd you say?
Whoa, what the fuck?
And you got to be like, I'm just kidding, man.
No, he was like, yeah, no, it's just like something I like. It was the crazy. So he had a big thing for feet, and he was like biting the ball of his like girlfriend's foot. Like he would just like, but not like chomp on it, but
not like Ted Bundy.
Yeah, nothing like that. But like she apparently, I don't know what she did, but she was on her feet most of the day.
Oh.
And she had like, those like calluses you
gross.
get
Don't
on the
say
ball?
it. Yeah, he was like eating them.
He bit, like he was messing around and nibbled it. And it like started to pull like a skin tag, like, like a thing on your fingernail. And he's like, yeah, dude, I just kind of like kept going. And she was like, oh, that kind of feels good, but kind of feels bad. Dude, he's like, and then I pulled the whole thing off and I ate it, dude.
That's like,
and I was like, that's not
cannibalism.
That's not
literally cannibalism.
All,
that's like fucking Austin Powers Gold member. You know the fucking movie where he had the fucking I'm peeling and he would fucking eat it.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Dude, my mom, when we would get sunburnt, that was a weird thing about her too. She loved peeling, like flaking skin off of you. It was the weirdest fucking thing in the world.
I got really bad sunburn when I was like 16. And my entire like shoulder, it looked like I was a snake. Like I was like shedding.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I ended up having to get a mole removed because I like years later, I formed what the doctors called precancerous mole, which is a scary word. And they had to fucking go, they had to like basically numb my shoulder and go in and like dig it out.
Yeah. So you gave yourself pre-melanoma.
Yeah.
Is what you did just by just chilling out in the sun.
Yeah. It was pretty brutal.
An ex-girlfriend of mine, we went to an Ozfest.
Okay.
And it was in New Jersey, and we were outside. So there's like 4 stages. And the one stage, dude, it was, 11 o'clock. The sun was like beating down, no cloud cover. And she had her hand up over her face the whole time.
Really?
Not only did she get a sunburn thing of her hand was sunburned, and then she formed a mole on her hand.
Oh.
From just direct sunlight.
Did she have to get it removed?
No, it's still there from what I know. It's fucking like she had it like that was when we first started dating. So that was like 2004. When we stopped dating in 2012, she still had it.
You gotta get your moles checked. My wife, I always make her inspect everything. I'm like, is this new? Because I always forget. And she's like, no, that's been there. I'm like, okay, good.
Man, I don't think I've ever had a mole checked out. I've never had a mole checked out. Should I get moles checked out?
If it's black, yes. Because the one I had was like black, and I was like, that's not normal.
Now, when you say like black, like your shirt black?
Oh, dude, it was like black. It was a tiny one. It was like the size of like.
I don't know if I would recognize.
Very, very small.
I don't know if I would recognize a black mole.
I'll give you a full body scan after this.
Like I have like brown ones.
You're probably fine. Have those been there forever?
They were there ever since, I guess I was born. Yeah, I guess.
This is turning into a medical podcast. Yeah, I love that.
Take off your shoes.
Yeah, dude. Those cost money.
Please.
By the way, if anybody else wants my feet, just DM me.
I just think that I wouldn't be opposed to selling pictures of my feet, but I also would be like, I'd feel weird about selling pictures of my feet. I'm glad you don't.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's good that you.
Well,
don't.
also, if I had a significant more amount of money than I have right now, I wouldn't do it.
Sure,
but it's like $200 is unfortunately a decent amount of cash for me right now.
Does he like want you? He just wants a picture of your bottom of your feet. He doesn't want you to like step on anything.
No. I think that's where it would get. I'd be like, I don't know. I'd probably charge extra for that.
Yeah, you'd have
like stepping on food. That's like a waste.
That's a waste of food.
Yeah.
Unless you were like, got some like really cheap ass hot dogs or something.
Oh yeah, some Hebrew Nationals.
Yeah, well, those are the expensive ones. You don't step on Hebrew Nats.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not. My wife does.
Actually, you don't want to do it now. You look like a Free Palestine. you look like a protester, dude. You're like, I'm done with this.
My wife does like all the grocery shopping and shit. So when people were like, dude, can you believe the price of eggs? I was like, no. Dude. I was like, I don't know what they are. What are you talking about?
Yeah, eggs
are $4. I was like, is that good?
I honestly don't know. I don't think it's good, but I also don't know if it's that bad.
Well, you used to be able to get a carton for like less than $2, I think, or something.
For real?
At Wawa, yeah, you used to be able to get like a carton of eggs.
The only time I ever got cheap eggs, I bought 18 count eggs, which is crazy, at the dollar store for $1.
Damn.
Dollar store.
That sounds like food poisoning.
No. Weirdly enough, that went on for like 3 months. They just had so many eggs.
Damn.
And I tried to figure out why they had it, and they told me it was because some stores, they order too much and they just absorb what else the store can't handle.
Oh.
And then sometimes, that's why they have like weird seasonal cereals that you didn't know even existed at all. And you're like, why the fuck do you have this shit? It's because stores are just like, we can't sell this anymore.
Yeah, I've gone in like a dollar store before, and they had like Easter, like Easter Sour Patch Kids, and it'd be like August, and I'd be like, these have been here forever.
Yeah, but they don't go bad. That's the thing with candy. Candy rarely, if ever, goes bad.
Yeah.
Like all
they last longer than running shoes.
Yeah, dude, you're definitely not gonna see any issues with like the fucking Peeps. I almost bought them because I don't eat a lot of candy, but Dr. Pepper Peeps sounded good.
I tried one.
How good are they good?
So I don't like Peeps or Dr. Pepper, but it was one of those because it was. Well, here's the thing, it was one of those things where I was like, when in Rome, because my nephew,
when in Dollar Tree Rome,
yeah,
sure, dude.
Well, I didn't buy him. I'm not a lunatic, but my nephew, I have a 12-year-old nephew, and my sister's very cute. Where like he's obviously getting older, but she still makes him like a little Easter egg,
of course,
Easter basket or whatever. And he got Dr. Pepper Peeps, and I was like, I have to try them, and it tasted like dog shit. So it was awesome. But I also don't like either one of those things.
So wait, you wouldn't be able to say like, yo, it tasted like Dr. Pepper.
Oh, it tasted like Dr. Pepper.
Well, you think
and
Dr. Pepper tastes like dog shit?
Yeah, it didn't taste good, but it tasted like Dr. Pepper, and it tasted like Peep. I just don't like either one of those things.
What would you say your favorite candy and favorite soda is?
My favorite soda is probably it's kind of boring, but just Diet Pepsi. I like Pepsi more than Coke.
Wow.
Yeah, Diet Pepsi, and then I like the sour gummy worms, the trolleys or whatever.
Oh, those are pretty good. The really like coated sugary ones.
Or sour strips. You ever get like they come in like the bag comes in like a bowl, like it comes like rolled up, and you just fucking that's my shit, dude. I'm a big Pennsylvania Dutch birch beer guy. Oh yeah, birch beer
all day,
delicious,
without a doubt. And if I had to pick my favorite candy, it's a toss up between Reese's Pieces and fucking Fruit by the Foot.
Really?
Fruit by the Foot was the best candy.
See, if I eat a lot of like chocolate candy, I like break out really bad, so I kind of have to avoid that. But like I do like a good sleeve of Reese's cups. Like get the fucking
king
get the
size one?
shareable size, and then just don't share at all.
I always crush 4. I don't know why they don't just leave them like that.
Yeah, like but they make me break out. But like if I know I don't like have to be out in public, like if I don't have any shows,
if it's all just feet pics,
yeah. If I don't have anything for like a week, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna crush some fucking Reese's and just deal with it after.
So here's something I've been thinking about, and this is very gear shift. The new Madden game is coming out, and Shaquan Barkley is on the cover of the Madden game, which is great.
He's doing I just saw the video of him. He's reenacting the hurdle or whatever.
He's jumping over Jerry and Jones, I think it is, from what the fuck? I think the Panthers?
Okay.
I don't know.
He's basically
Is it the Panthers? Am I right?
Would you also say his name again? What Barkley?
Jerry and Jones?
No, say
Shaquan.
Shaquan.
Is it Shaquan?
Saquon.
That's why I've been spelling it wrong.
The whole time I'm like, this is fucked.
Sorry, everybody.
That's the type of person that pulls up to the cat house and says the N-word.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's Shaquan Barkley.
I was definitely going Air Force Navy on this. But
I'm just happy I finally got to correct somebody on his name, because normally I'm the one who I was fucking his name up for a while too, so don't feel bad.
Look, Mr. Barkley.
Yeah, Sir Barkley.
Mr. Barkley is jumping over Jerry and Jones. and Jerry Jones is now also on the cover of Madden.
Yeah, but now he's the bitch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's got to be crazy to be like, yo, you're on a highlight reel for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I'm the guy under Saquon's nuts.
Yeah, just look at me, just
fucking getting teabagged in midair.
That's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
In every GameStop in America.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
On every billboard, every fucking commercial.
Well, also for the guys on the Jags, it's the first time a Jags player's ever been on the cover.
Damn. Go Jaguars.
Yes, dude. You will never how I have like when I watch sports highlights, especially when it's like compilation of like the hardest hits or like stiff arms or something. It's like you gotta feel like the worst person in the world. Like just getting off the field, like, I just look like the biggest piece of shit in the world right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to share. Or even the dudes, like when there's a dude running for a touchdown and all the guys are just running and then jumping and just falling on their fucking face. Like,
yeah.
You are living forever on the internet.
Yeah, that's going to be on
like
everybody's fucking TikTok feed forever.
All the time. I think that's like one of the biggest fears, like with
Still not as bad as basketball, dude. Basketball.
Oh, I could only imagine.
It's just dick in your face.
Yeah.
All the time.
Just Shaq dunking on people. It's his fucking card and just his balls.
Speaking of Shaq dunk, I remember there was a fucking trading card of Shaq breaking a backboard. And not only is it like people like wincing like to get away, which you look like a huge bitch anyway.
Of course.
There's like clearly the janitor in the background like just like, fuck no, dude.
I wonder.
I've got to clean this shit up.
You know what I wonder? I wonder how many like trading cards there are out there where like it's the basketball player, and then I wonder like if there's any like famous people courtside you can see. You know, because you always see like Ben Stiller, Pete Davidson. They're like in the background.
The Menendez
No, I was just
brothers.
gonna say the Menendez brothers are in a fucking card.
Are they?
Yeah, dude.
Sick.
It's like you can probably pick out I know Jack Nicholson has definitely been in cards, without a doubt.
That'd be cool. Like bring in one of the cards for Jack Nicholson to sign.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
dude. Spike Lee definitely has been. He's always courtside at the Knicks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's just been. I know from what I heard. I don't know if it's true because Menendez brothers were out there because someone also brought up that O.J. Simpson was in a basketball card as well.
Oh wow.
And I think what would be crazy is if it was like if O.J. Simpson was in the background of a basketball card with another famous athlete murderer. That would be sick. Like just jumping the shark into shit. That would be fucking sick.
They're making a new Naked Gun. Did you see that?
I did see that. Well,
Yeah.
now who? Oh wait, isn't it Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson. And there's in the trailer, it's like Liam Neeson. He's like talking to his dad, which was the I forget his name, but the original guy from Naked Gun. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're talking about Leslie Nielsen.
Yes, Leslie Nielsen. Sorry, I don't remember his name.
It's Shaquan Barkley.
Yeah, Shaquan Barkley. Yeah, so in the trailer, he's talking to his dad, and he's like, "I really miss you, Dad. You know, I hope I'm making you proud." And then it cuts to the guy who plays OJ's son, and he's looking at a picture of OJ, and he just turns the camera and he goes, "Mm-mm." Oh, it's so funny. I can't wait to see it.
I wonder how that's going to go. Like, don't get me wrong. I love slapstick comedies like that. However, I do think it is funny when the Wayans kind of cornered the market in that.
Yeah.
There were so many people like, yo, Scary Movie's the funniest movie in the world. And I'm like, I don't know if it's funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like there's a lot of substance in this comedy at all. Like, I get it.
Parody movies are like junk food. You know?
Yeah.
You just kind of have to sit
yeah.
down and just be like, all right, this is going to be what it is.
They're definitely the fucking Dr. Pepper peep of movies.
Oh, yeah.
They probably taste like shit. And you might not like any of the jokes or references, but you do it because, you know, why not? I think I saw Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the theater. I went out of my way to do it.
One of the one Scary Movie, I think I might have talked about this the last time I was on your podcast, or I've definitely talked about it on a podcast before. But one of the Scary Movies is where I learned how to jerk off. Because it's when it's Anna Faris and the guy who played whatever brother in Malcolm in the Middle. They're in the freezer.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're doing the parody like, I won't let go, but he's like lower, and it's like he's like, I'm so cold, you have to warm me up, and she starts like beating him off. And then he came, and I was like, what's that about? And then I started going down. I was like, oh. That's literally, I can remember, dude, I remember that was like my whole life changed. That's how I learned how to jerk off, was from Scary Movie.
That's such a wild It's such a wild way to learn how to jerk off. Did you think you were going to come that much too?
Oh, dude, I was shooting nothing for a while.
Oh man,
I was shooting nothing, and then one day something came out, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's got to be a scary experience.
Yeah.
Were you worried? You were like, "Oh no"?
Well, no, because I had been at that point. I had been watching like actual porn, so like I think I knew.
You figured eventually.
I was like, eventually, the
volcano is going to explode.
Yeah.
This has to be a way to go. I thought that was just like seeing porn at an early age. I thought that you didn't come inside women. For a second, I was like, you just come on their face.
Yeah.
Like that's how my mom got pregnant, and that's how everybody else is here, is because of weird facials.
Dude, I didn't know how the fuck sex worked for a long time. Obviously, like I was in 5th grade, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, you put it in the girl's butt, and you pee." And then I went home, and I told my dad, and I was like, "Yeah, dad, is sex when you put your wiener in a girl's butt and you pee?" And he was like, "No, it's not how you do it." And I was like, "Well, then tell me, how does it work?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "That's how it works, and you just don't want me to learn." And like I basically
You're
forced
gatekeeping sex for me, Dad.
I never had the sex talk. My dad was just like, "That's not how it works," and he wouldn't tell me, and then I had to figure it out.
Dude, we never had a sex talk at all. The only sex talk I could ever say that it was even remotely that. Mm-hmm. I was like maybe 7 years old, and my dad, we were in the back of a car. We were going to go boating on the Schuylkill, and we were in the back of a truck. It was my dad, my younger brother, my dad's friend Scott, and his son Nathan. And I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. It was just bullshit. And he's like, "Hey, and if you're ever with women, guys, keep in mind, the oldest one of us is 8 years old." He's like, "Just use a condom.
Yeah.
It's got to be safe sex." That was the most I was like, I don't know what condom is, but I know I must use one from now on. I have no idea.
Dude, I remember I bought condoms for the first time when I was like 16 because I just wanted to like learn how they work, and I jerked off in a condom, and like after coming in a condom by yourself, it was the most like alone I've ever felt. I think just being like, well, hopefully I'll get to use this on an actual person one day.
Yeah, I think the first time I think everyone jerks off in a condom at least once.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I did, it was before I also had sex, and I was like, man, sex is going to kind of suck. I was like, this is not going to be great.
But going back to like sex ed and shit and like learning about that shit, dude, I learned how to make my wife come from Katie Morgan. You know the porn star Katie Morgan?
Do I know the porn star Katie Morgan?
So she used to do sex ed with Katie Morgan on HBO, and she was talking about the clitoris. And this was years before I started like dating my wife. And then I was just like, okay, that's the spot apparently. And then obviously I started dating my wife, and I was just a fucking G right from the start. I knew what I was doing. I was like, I banked that information.
You threw down all the paperwork. I'm like, I got this, bitch.
I had it all figured out. I had it in my notes app for years.
Damn, I watched a sex ed with Katie Morgan where Isabella Soprano was on with her, and it was sad because it was a bunch of dudes who clearly had no idea what was going on with women at all, and they were going over nipple play and watching some guy literally grab Isabella Soprano's nipples and twist them like a titty twister.
Oh, God.
Because she was like, someone stimulate my nipples. And the guy's like, I guess I could. Yeah. And he wasn't like, yo, I'm going to do this. He was like, well, I guess I'll step up.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I'll show people what I know. Dude, literally like turning knobs on a TV. And
like
she
he's
was
trying to figure out a shower for the first time.
He was like, she's like, what are you doing? He's like, I think I'm stimulating your nipples. She's like, get away from me. She's like, what is wrong with you, dude?
Dude, my wife, she always tries to play with my nipples and shit, and I'm like, I have one button and it's right here. Like, I don't need anything else. Like, not like just no there. Like lick. Do the licking thing you're doing, but like farther down.
Do you have big nipples or small nipples?
I think they're normal size. You want to see them?
Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty normal sized nipples.
Yeah,
of all nipples, you have a good.
Thanks, man.
You have a good BTNR.
Hell yeah. Was that
boob to nipple ratio?
Oh, okay.
You got a good ratio.
Thanks, dude.
Nothing bad about it.
Nobody's ever told me that.
I have very small nipples.
Do you? All right, well, let me see.
I have very small.
Okay, yeah.
Very small nipples.
Yours are smaller.
They're small. And you know what I heard? And I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, I would get made fun of for having small nipples for whatever reason when I was a kid. And I was like kind of bummed. And then someone told me, it's like, you know why your nipples are small, don't you? And I was like, why? He's like, well, every fetus starts out as a female in the womb. And what happens is the bigger nipples are on a man, it means it took them longer to figure out they were going to be a male.
Okay.
Because it was taking the Y chromosome.
Damn.
So
if you
you
got
were-
big ass nipples, you were a chick
You
for
were
a
a
long
chick
time.
longer than you were a male.
Wow.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
That sounds like some
But I
straight
did.
up,
I
like-
did take that to the fucking. I'm like, yo, dude, that's sick.
That sounds like playground facts.
Yo, that was
Like,
definitely.
yeah, if you say Bloody Mary in the mirror and turn around, she'll fucking be there.
and if your
And
nipples
she
are
has
too
huge
big,
nipples.
you know she's old.
Yeah.
Damn, if you date a chick with small nipples, that might be a weird thing for you, dude. All right, we got messages. Have we messages?
Yo, Shanners, Q from Florida. I know I fucking left you like 2 bullshit voicemails. This is a legit one. So I'm in like Southwest Florida. I'm on a tiny ass island. I got a dude below me. I live in a condo essentially. The guy below me, this motherfucker wants to kick me out. He's trying to fucking put eviction notices and all that stuff into the condo association. Long story short, I'm not fucking making a lot of noise. I work at night. He's saying he's hearing noise from fucking 3 a.m. to 4 to 5 to 6 a.m. Nobody's home here. This is a concrete, steel reinforced fucking building with 200 units. Somebody makes a fucking noise, 5 units down, it hits him, he thinks it's me. I don't know what to do. What do you think I should do? Every time I tell the condo association, they're always on his side. I don't know what the fuck to do, man. I love the shit. I love your show. You know, hail Shockwave. Go you. I don't know. If you can help me out, thanks, man. Bye.
I love it when people say long story short when you definitely
never
need
not.
you definitely need the longer version
Oh
of
my
that.
god,
Yeah, so long story short, I'm getting evicted.
Danny, any advice on this guy with his housing situation?
I think he amps it up to like make it seem like a real poltergeist is happening.
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
I was gonna say I was legitimately about to say that his place might be haunted.
That would be. I get what you're saying. Or you could just be like, yo, I'm hearing it too.
Yeah.
You could be like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Or try to get him evicted. Just go back and be like, yo, this guy's making a lot of noise.
Dude, set up like Nest cameras in your place. You can get them for cheap. Get a couple Nest cams and because it timestamps everything and be like, when do you think I'm making noise? And then when he says that, go back and be like, oh really, motherfucker?
No.
Why is my apartment empty? Besides this Victorian girl running around and fucking throwing shit everywhere.
This Annabelle
Yeah,
doll.
it's little
walking
Annabelle.
around. Hey, dude, that would be a great thing to bring up. It's like, yeah, so it wasn't me. I actually at an auction saw this doll and I bought it and then, you know, egg on my face. Turns out it's possessed by a non-terrestrial demon. I had no idea that it was going to be like that. That's my fault. I take responsibility, but there's nothing I can do about the demon. If you can evict the demon, I'm fucking out with
Oh
that.
yeah.
Get rid of that. I just, I think that's a great idea. Setting up the Nest cams and then having a timestamp like, look, I'm never home.
Yeah.
And it is weird. Like, I don't know. I've never had anybody like a neighbor ever complain about me. Like ever. I've never had anybody complain.
Yeah.
Only twice, but like it wasn't really a complaint where they were like calling somebody else. They were just like, hey, don't do that. And it wasn't like a huge thing. And it's like we put up a fucking curtain and they didn't have to see me naked anymore. That was about it.
Yeah.
That was about it.
I've been fortunate enough to never like live in an apartment. I've always I've always lived in like a house.
Brag.
So I've never had to worry about like pissing off like my neighbors really.
Now, when you say nothing like a row home, just like a stand. Wow.
No, yeah. So I grew
up.
I know. Humble brag. Well, this is also somebody who's selling pictures of his feet for $200. So don't think I'm fucking rolling in it. No, I lived with my, obviously I basically grew up with my parents and never moved out. Like me and my wife, we built an addition on my mom's home. So we have like our own in-laws suite. But my mom's like a really heavy sleeper. So like, we don't really have to we can be loud at night. It doesn't matter. If anything, if I'm going to piss off anybody, it's my mom, but she's normally the loud one. She's got fucking Joe Rogan blaring, like falling asleep to that.
All right. Well, that seems like a pretty good setup. So you have what did you say it was called? An in-law suite?
Yeah, like an addition. So like So when my grandma died, we moved into her house. Me, my mom, my dad, and that's around the time I started dating my wife. And then so like she basically like when she turned 18, she pretty much, aside from being in like
Legal.
when she went to college, because she lived in a dorm and everything. But when she wasn't there, she pretty much lived in my house. Like she had all of her clothes there and shit. So she just kind of slowly started moving in. And then when my dad died, it was around the time me and my wife were debating on getting our own place. But my mom was in such a bad spot.
Sure.
We were like, we'll stay with her and then we'll build an addition onto the house. That way we can all be, one big happy family.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So then I'm assuming when eventually you'll have the whole house.
Yeah. Oh,
eventually.
yeah. Mm-hmm. The house is in my name. So
Sick.
So yeah, whenever my mom decides to kick the bucket, we'll have the whole house.
Are you going to do anything cool to the house, or is it already cool?
I'm thinking maybe add a pool table. That's pretty much it. Because we don't use our living room like at all. Whoa. So I think I just maybe if I do anything, that'll be the only cool thing.
Everyone goes pool table, and I'm not saying pool isn't cool. I'm not saying don't get a pool table. I would want like a really, really good, really professional air hockey table.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I think everyone overlooks air hockey.
Or pinball machines, dude.
You know what? I'm not fucking good at pinball.
Me neither.
Like, I'm not good at it, dude.
It's still a cool flex to be like, sick. Yeah, I want a Pulp Fiction pinball machine. That'd be my shit.
You know what? You could probably have a custom made like cat house pinball.
Oh my god, just N-word bonus.
See her mouth moving. Yeah. Fucking digital. It's like, oh no. Another thing that I think would be sick is a huge bubble dome Chex hockey.
Okay.
With the fucking like almost like foosball. Yeah. Those guys, that would be fucking sick too. Don't get me wrong, pool's awesome. Mm-hmm. But like if I went into a room and saw a pool table but air hockey, I'm like, yo, I gotta play that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Hockey. Oh yeah, pool table, I just feel like it's just
it's classy.
Yeah.
It's
that
standard man stuff. Mm-hmm. You need a pool table at one point in time in your life.
You need a pool table to make up for your big nipples or whatever. Yeah.
I think you should get that in Latin over top. Yeah. Just that you walk into the game rooms like, yeah, I have big nipples.
I have it over like how you enter Auschwitz. It's fucking work will set you free.
Oh, fuck. All right, we got one more. We got one more message. I hope we answered the best question.
Hey, what's up, Shaner? It's Luke, a.k.a. Booker T, calling in. I've been to do this for a while, but I was just calling in. I called the wrong number last time, so I was just calling in this time. I've got plenty of questions to ask you, but just for a nice starter, when's the last time you listened to the Bloodhound Gang?
Oh, man.
Or have you ever heard of them? And when you did, do you remember hearing them for the first time? And do you like them? Because I think the vocalist is pretty damn good.
Jimmy
kind
Pop.
Of rappy. I'm a big rap guy, big Gucci Mane fan. Think he's the greatest rapper alive, Lil Wayne. But, yeah, Bloodhound Gang. Tell me what you think about them. Peace.
Later. Yeah, Bloodhound Gang's great. They're actually from where I grew up. They're right outside. Like, they were all from, like, Collegeville. So Jimmy Pop and DJ Q-Ball.
I've never listened to them.
You've never listened to them? You've listened. What I'm going to say.
I probably heard them.
You definitely have heard The Bad Touch.
Okay.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Oh, yeah. And then, I know the Bloodhound Gang. And then he has a song about Wawa, right? Did he have something?
So he had a song.
So he mentions Wawa.
He does. It's called Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
It's called Pennsylvania. And so their first album was called One Fierce Beer Coaster. Or no, the first album was called Use Your Fingers. But then their major, like, when they started getting a little bit more popular, was One Fierce Beer Coaster. And they had a song, Along Comes Mary. They did a cover of Along Comes Mary, and that was used for Something About Mary. And then they had a song called Lift Your Head Up High and Blow Your Brains Out, which is pretty good. But yeah, the lyrics they're all goofy. They're all fucking just retarded and dumb. But yeah, the Bloodhound Gang's pretty cool. I saw them live once.
I have a funny story about that song. There was You and Me. What's the name of it?
The Bad Touch.
The Bad Touch. So I remember when the movie Game Over came out with Gerard Butler, where he's like, I think that's the name of it, but whatever video game movie with Gerard Butler, he's like in a gaming simulation type thing. And it was rated R, and I was a kid, but I was obsessed with video games. So I made my dad take me to see it. It was like one of my first R-rated movies I ever saw. And there was like, there was a scene where like everybody in the game was like fucking each other's avatars. And the song "You and Me, Baby Ain't."
There was a scene in the movie where the avatars were fucking.
Well, I mean, like whoever was in the game, they were like having sex with the players were having sex with each other.
Okay.
They were all having sex with each other, and that song was playing, like tits out, like fucking. And I was just in the theater with my dad, and he's like, "You said this was going to be a video game movie." That was like one of my first memories of that song.
Oops.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dad. Yeah, that song like swept the nation.
Yeah. It was huge on YouTube, I know.
It was inescapable. And I remember when that song came out, somebody in my high school tried doing that for, we had like, instead of a talent show, we had a thing called Air Band.
Okay.
Where people would just lip sync like songs and like do dance routines and stuff. And they were trying to do that. And like, of course, all the teachers were like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And they were like, no, it's free speech. We're just trying. And they tried to get like people to like, protest to get people to have this song on, and it was like, there's no way this is going to happen. And the only thing that they did is they did a compilation. So they didn't do the Bloodhound Gang, but they did do a compilation of Limp Bizkit to supplement it.
Okay.
Which I thought was also crazy because they did Nookie in the fucking compilation. It was so crazy in the medley. There was just like people lip syncing to Nookie, and everyone's like, this is not that. You could have done the guys in the monkey suits.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have fucking mattered at all. I just don't really understand why we had to be like, no. I guess the lyrics are a little bit, it was like, they're going to do a whole thing about like, this guy is mad because his girlfriend broke up with him, but he did it all for just fucking her. Like, it's not, it's
going from
kind
that
of the same thing.
Going from that to Limp Bizkit, I feel like isn't really that. You're not, it's the same,
No, they were just
really
like, we don't like the lyrics. It's like, none of you researched any of this.
Oh, dude, I remember when I was in middle school when they used to play Soulja Boy, Crank That Soulja Boy, and it was like the thing. It was like the big song at the time at like the formals, and then the teachers found out that Superman That Hoe means when you come on the girl's back and then wipe it off with a towel or put a towel on it. As soon as they found that out, they found out what the actual lyrics meant, because they were like, yeah, Superman, that's a fun song for the kids. But as soon as they found out the actual lyrics, that song became banned in my middle school. Some fucking snitch was like, it means when you're having sex with a girl.
That's all about cum.
Yeah.
It's about cum on a woman's
And the
back.
principal was like, oh my God.
I can't believe, dude, did he do the dance? Did the principal do the dance?
Oh yeah, all the teachers were trying to be cool.
God.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a teacher do a dance. Actually, during the airband thing, so around the school there was a rumor that our shop teacher, Mr. Rousey, which was a crazy last name, Mr. Rousey was also a male stripper. He moonlighted as a male stripper, and his stripper name was The Hammer, because apparently he had a big dick. And this was like, everyone talked about it, like, but we didn't know the teachers knew anything about this. But during Airband, he came out on stage and did like an MC Hammer song, dressed up like MC Hammer, and all the teachers were swinging hammers around.
Oh, wow.
Knowing that we had all talked about this.
That's pretty fucking
for
awesome.
years. And everyone, dude, the crowd was just like, ew. Nobody wants to know that you guys know we're talking about this dude's wiener.
The only rumor I had in my school about a teacher was in my high school. My photography teacher used to be a boxer, and there was a rumor that he killed a guy in the ring, and that's why he doesn't box anymore.
Sick.
Yeah.
Did he ever own up to any of that? Did
He would
ever,
never talk
lean
about
in?
it.
No?
He never talked to people. Would like they'd be like, "Mr. Foe, tell us about your boxing career, or whatever," and he'd be like, just wouldn't talk about it. And that's why everybody thought like he like killed a dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have leaned into that. If
Yeah.
why
you better pay
not?
attention in my fucking class. You want to end up like that guy?
All you got to do is like really rig something up that doesn't look breakable and punch it once and be like, I swore I'd never use this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I swear I'd never do it again.
Yeah.
You kids push me to the brink. Dude, all the kids be like, oh no. Oh, fuck. We had a rumor about my 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Havrilla, who I only hope is still alive. She was a very nice lady. But the rumors we made up about her were so unfortunate. Like, you just feed into it. You're a kid, so you're not going to be like, you guys need to grow up. You're like, whoa, no, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Yeah.
She had a scar on her neck that went from her ear to her, like, almost the other side of her
Oh
neck.
shit.
And everybody was like, and it wasn't like she tried to hide it either. It was there. And the first rumor was that she was on a plane and she started choking, and then to try to give herself, like someone had to give her an emergency like tracheotomy, but they used like a car key and they fucked it up.
God.
So like everyone was like, yeah, it was amazing, she survived, and it was a whole macadamia nut. Like everyone was like, they served nuts on the plane. It was like whole fucking nut. And then the other one was that she was a there was two, and like both of them are kind of like in the same. One was that she's a robot, and like that face she's wearing was somebody else's, and they botched the stitch on.
Damn.
And then the other one was that it is somebody else's face, but it's her sister's face, and they were both in a car accident, and her sister died, but both, like, her face got ripped off, and then they put her sister's face on her body.
Those are pretty fucking creative.
Dude, and I remember being like, it makes sense. There's nothing worse when you're like, oh my God, all the evidence is there. I've been blind. Holy shit. And she was like, she was a nice lady. She was also pretty creepy, though.
Yeah.
She was pretty creepy, but like not a mean lady. She never yelled. And that was another thing. She never yelled. People was like, yeah, if she yells too loud, her voice box may break again. She had her whole throat was ripped out, dude. She can't do anything.
Do you know, are you familiar with Jimmy Neutron at all, like that show?
No. I do know of it, but I don't know anything about it.
There was a teacher in the show who her name was Miss Fowl, and she would go, and she talked kind of like a bird. And we had a substitute teacher who talked exactly like that, and she'd be in the class trying to teach, and we'd all be in the back going,
oh, man.
and I remember one time she was an older lady, and she was also kind of mean, so we didn't feel bad about like making fun of her.
Yeah.
But there was one time she was trying to we were supposed to we were supposed to watch some video, and you had the big TVs in the corner. And she was fucking with the TV, and then somebody found the remote, and every time she would switch it to the thing, they would press the button and change the channel, and she was like freaking out. She's like, this TV's acting up, and she was like on a fucking chair, like trying to fix the fucking buttons. And this kid, Connor, sat next to me, and he had the remote. He was like, dude, look. And he was like changing the channels.
Dude,
and
the
shit.
universal remote tricks were the best ever in the world. We did that to a guy. This was not a rumor, but we did fuck with this Mr. Grodzinski when we were in 8th grade. He was in Vietnam, so like everything was like, he had a short fuse with everything. I don't know if it was because he was in Vietnam, but we blamed it on that all the time. And he would just like, he would get mad about something like, hey man, you're not in the jungle anymore. And he'd be like, shut the fuck, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea. And then one day he made the crew, I don't know why he did this, but like, for whatever reason, in 8th grade, we had a day where he was showing film strip, like in our class, of like him in Vietnam. Like it was just like slideshows of like what they were doing over there and all this stuff. And he stopped on this one where like he did have like an M16, and there were like all these kids around him and like a couple of people and other soldiers. And one kid, I think it was Tim Detweiler, was like, so how many of those people did you kill?
Oh my God.
And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Dude, stop the slideshow, ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, ruin the vibes.
It was just like, dude, we know you're not in the jungle anymore. That was like, saying you're not in the jungle anymore, dude, was the craziest insult you could say.
Fucking set him off.
Dude, he was so mad the whole time. And then there was another time where, do you know what the Voyage of the Mimi is? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So when we were in school, we had to watch, like, it was for Mr. Grodzinski was our science teacher. So we watched this, like, we had a whole unit on humpback whales for whatever reason. And we watched on Laserdisc this movie called The Voyage of the Mimi, which had Ben Affleck in it as like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is like, he's this kid and he goes with his fucking grandpa on this ship called the Mimi, and they investigate the breeding habits and living cycles of humpback whales, and they're doing all this shit, and eventually they get crash landed on there's a huge storm comes in, and the boat gets marooned on a desert island for the most part. And Captain Granville is like hypothermic. And there's a part where I remember being like, oh crap, that's crazy. We're watching, because this is a straight up like children's thing. So they have to, like, his grandpa's going hypothermic, so they have to strip him naked and put him in like a sleeping bag, and then a dude and another adult woman get in there to use body heat to like warm him up, but they show the chick's tits and the dude's dick.
Damn.
Getting in the sleeping bag. You're like, what?
Did the classroom go wild?
Dude, we lost it. He's like, you don't understand what's happening. He's like, a man's life is at stake.
Relax, you're not in the jungle anymore.
You're not in the jungle anymore, Mr. G. Take it easy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. The school nudity, I think, seeing nudity in a movie in school, especially like 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, come on, man. You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
It's still cool seeing tits when you're not supposed to.
It's awesome.
As a kid.
That was other thing Mrs. Havrilla did, too, that I...
Showed her tits?
She made me see tits.
Oh.
She made me see tits. She was obsessed, for whatever reason, with the Titanic, the sinking of the Titanic.
Okay. Yeah.
So when that movie came out, she said that we all need to see it. Mm-hmm. And there was a stipulation, like, you can either see Titanic and come, like, we'll do like oral presentations about it, or you can write like a 5-page paper.
Yeah, fuck that.
Dude, so she had to have permission slips because
For Kate Winslet's tits?
Every line was like, there is tasteful nudity. She stressed tasteful.
Yeah.
She's like, there is nudity. If you're uncomfortable, like, it's tasteful. It's not gratuitous. It's not graphic. There is no full frontal. It is only breast. Like, breasts are natural. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Mom, we have to go see this movie. And Mom was like, what? I'm like, yeah, my God. Like, it's either that or I'm writing a paper and you're helping. She's like, I guess we'll go see a 3-hour movie. And it was me, my mom, and my stepdad. And I remember my younger brother was pissed. He's like, I can't go to the movie. I'm like, sorry, this is for school, dude. And there's tasteful nudity.
Yeah.
Like, you can't handle boobs.
Oh,
and,
dude, I fucking wore the fuck out of my Titanic VHS when I was a kid. Rewinding and pausing at the perfect time for Kate Winslet's tits.
I did that with Just One of the Guys.
Okay.
You ever seen Just One of the Guys where she shows her dude, I had that on VHS. Fucked that up. Fucked up Jason's Goes to Hell with the tits.
Yep.
So many times. Just the amount of... Also, I had a shitty VHS of Romeo and Juliet from 1962. Mm-hmm. There's full butt and full tits in that movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's like, it's rated G.
Oh,
it's
dude.
rated G.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is the craziest thing in the world.
Well,
dude.
I think for a while they didn't really know how to rate movies because I think like Poltergeist is rated PG.
Yeah,
it's rated PG. It's like there's like skeletons and cuss words and like it's a scary movie. If you like, I think of a PG movie is like I think the fucking Lion King is PG. I don't know, whatever. But like to put that in the same category as Poltergeist is crazy.
Beetlejuice is PG.
Yeah,
how Beetlejuice managed to get a PG rating is beyond me.
Yeah.
There's the word fuck in it. There's whores. And there's also like crazy imagery, also tropes with suicide and smoking and like just nothing but death.
Yeah. In the 90s, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They're like, I don't know. Yeah, parents should probably be here in the room when they watch it.
It's called parental guidance.
Parental guidance.
It's right there.
Yeah.
It's PG. I never really understand. I know G is guidance, but like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Who's like, guidance.
Yeah. Okay, so those are tits. You see those?
It's like, let me guide your eyes.
Let me guide your eyes to those fucking nipples.
Dude, so when we went and saw Titanic, that was the only thing I was looking... Because I didn't know when the nudity was coming, but I did know it was because of the permission slip. So I'm like, just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So then I remember when it finally comes to like, Jack and Rose are in the room. She's like, I want you to draw me wearing this. She's like, only this. And then she comes out in the robe and I remember my mom kind of doing this. Like she was going to cover my eyes. But I remember being like, it's for school.
I have to learn.
Like, I have to see this.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom, this is education.
This is homework, Mom.
My boner is ripping through my jeans. I'm like, this is for school, Mom. Holy shit. This has been the End Podcast with Ryan Shaner. Rob Stant, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely, man. Happy to be here.
Make sure you call the hotline, 833-443-5300. You'll address any comment, question, or concern, including how to stop your goddamn landlord from possibly evicting you with a shitty fucking tenant underneath you. Get the Nest camera. That was the best. That was a very, very good suggestion. Nest cameras will save you. As long as you have digital evidence of everything, that's the fucking way to go. We're going to switch it over to the Patreon later.